Now, many years ago, after Bunjil had created all the country, created all the laws and everything and all the people, Bunjil decided to visit other country. Now, back in them days, my people, Kulin, we all ate our food raw, and during winter were always sick. However, there was these 7 women who never seemed to complain about the cold, and when they went back to their camp, all these beautiful smells came from their camp. Now, he was curious, so he decided to go and watch these women and see what they were up to. So he watched them carefully and noticed in the top of their digging sticks, their carnons, there was some glowing red. So he watched them more to wonder how he was going to get that glowing red off them. And he worked out that they loved honey ants but were afraid of snakes. So he gathered up all these baby snakes and put them in the hollow log on the path the women walked. And when the women walked past, he'd gone, "Hey, you women, over there, honey ants, yum, honey ants." "Where? We can't see them. We can't see any honey ants. Where are they?" "In the hollow log, honey ants, yum, honey ants." So they went over to the hollow log and they still couldn't see them. "Use your carnons, use your digging sticks, honey ants, yum." So they broke open the hollow log and out shot all these baby snakes. Now these women, as I said, were afraid of snakes, so they went and used their digging sticks, their carnons, to beat the ground to chase these snakes away. Now they hit the ground so far that the tops of their sticks broke off and Wah swooped down and took off with them. "Come back here, you thief! Come back!" Oh, they used some terrible language and I'm not going to repeat. Now, all that noise attracted the attention of Bunjil, the creator, and he came to see what was going on. And the women told him how they'd kept the secret of fire, and now Wah had stolen them off him. He called down 2 of his nephews, Churchur, a small dark man with wings, and Tara, a tall pale man with wings. And he said, "Churchur, Tara, you get after Wah and get those sticks off him." Now, this happened in the northwest. So Wah was flying in a southeasterly direction, and he was flying as well as he could. And when he noticed that Churchur and Tara were after him, he started going faster. So he started going faster and still they were gaining. He flew fast, one of the sticks caught fire, so he dropped at a place called Munio, which these days can be found in the Dandenong Ranges. Churchur and Tara landed there, and Churchur said, "Tara, you're bigger, quicker and faster than me. You go after Wah while I'll keep this one alive by beating my wings against the flames." So off Tara went. Now Tara, being very big and swift, was gaining on Wah. Wah seen him coming, so Wah changed direction from that southeasterly to a north by northeasterly, and he flew fast, and he kept flying faster, and still Tara was gaining on him. He flew so fast that all the sticks caught fire, burning him, turning him black, and he dropped them all. On the way, one fell and hit the finch on the back, that's the firefinch, and they landed at a place called Nana Thumb. Nana Thumb can be found 125 k's about that way in the Cathedral Ranges. Now, Tara brought him back to Bunjil. Bunjil gave a stick to Tara and said, "You take all the men and teach them all the uses they can have of fire." He then called in his daughter, Karakaruk, and said, "You take all the women and teach them all the uses they can have of fire." They did. When he came back, he gave Tara 2 sticks and said, "Tara, plant them south and east, for they shall be the sticks that you rub to create fire." He did. Today we call them the Corandurk, the Christmas bush, or the Australian mulberry bush. And you break a bit of them off, clean it, and that's the bit you rub to create fire. When he came back, he gave him 1 more stick. He said, "Now take this one and plant it northwest, for that shall be the base that you rub into to create fire." He did, and the plant he planted from that stick became known as the kangaroo tail, the black boy, or the grass tree, or Xanthia, something or other in Latin. And when he came back, he said, "Hey, Dara, didn't I send Jert Jert with you? So you better go get Jert Jert." Poor Jert Jert. He died keeping the flame alive. So Tara brought his body back to Bunjil. And Bunjil picked up the body and picked up his axe, and with his mighty axe, he split Jert Jert in half. One half he blew and threw into the skies, and there it became known as Jert Jert, the evening star, the first star you see at the beginning of night. The other half he blew and threw out, and it became known as Jert Jert, the swamp hawk or the quail hawk, the smallest of all the hawk family. Now Bunjil decided that the story would be remembered forever, so he called him Bellin Bellin, who's a musk crow, and said, "Bellin Bellin, open your dilly bag and let out some wind." And when the wind got big enough, he aimed it at the women, and it sent them up into the skies, where today we see them as Pleiades, the seven sisters. Now Bunjil and his family knew that now, after they taught everyone the rules, what they could eat and what they couldn't, what they need to look after and what they can't look after, he decided him and his family's time to leave. So he plunged his spear into the ground and had hold of it, got all his family to link on his other arm, and said, "Bellin Bellin, I need wind. I need more wind." And finally, when the wind was big enough, he got Bellin to aim it at him, and he pulled his stick out of the ground, and it carried everyone up into the skies. Now it's said if you ever want to go visit Bunjil's camp, you follow the Milky Way, for it is the smoke and sparks from Bunjil's camp. And that's how we got the Milky Way, how we got Pleiades, the seven sisters, and how we got the evening star. But most importantly, how my people keep warm and eat our food cooked.